Hello and welcome to another view from the cab in sunny old England, or should I say the Wild West, because sadly that is exactly what this country is becoming. Straight into the dark stuff there, do you know what I mean? Straight in, no messing about. Sadly the UK, not just England, the UK is just becoming the Wild West. Again on the news this morning was a story about a man that was shot just a few miles down the road in the town of Maidstone. Now, for a country that has such strict gun laws, you know, how does somebody find themselves getting shot? Well, I don't know. Recently, this year, 2019, we've had multiple stabbings. You know, it just seems endless. Every single day you listen to the news, you're on the radio and on TV, and there's kids stabbing kids, and there's kids stabbing adults, and there's, you know, adults stabbing kids, and everybody's stabbing each other, and it's all walks of life. You can't say, oh well, it's the foreigners or this or that, because it's everybody. Everybody just seems to be running wild at the moment. I don't know what's brought this on. I mean, I see people in my job. I drive around a lot, so much so I've done 50 miles already today, and I've not left town. And people just drive along and they're texting on the phone and they're talking on the handheld phone, you know, because they know that quite simply there aren't enough police. You know, I've spoken about this before, I'm sure. There simply isn't enough uniformed police, proper police officers out on the streets. You can drive for miles and miles and miles and miles and not see a single police officer. So people are just running around doing what they want, talking on the phone while they're driving, which is, texting on the phone is the same as drink driving, which, you know, I know people still get caught drink driving, but you know, there just seems to be anarchy going on at the moment. We just seem to be descending towards anarchy, where people are just running around doing whatever they want. You know, when you've got kids committing these awful crimes, you can't say, oh well, it's because they're in the inner city, or, you know, you can't just excuse people forever. You can't say, oh well, he lives in the inner city, he lives in London, he lives in a poor council estate, he's from a broken home, blah blah blah. You can't keep trotting out excuses for people. We have to come to a point where we sort of say, look, enough's enough. What we need, in my honest opinion, is we need more police, more prisons, and we need bigger sentences. There's no need for people to be running around carrying these great big Rambo style knives or machetes or anything like that. There's just no need for it. So what we need to start doing is dishing out big sentences. You know, we need more police on the streets. We need more uniformed police, proper police, not these Mickey Mouse community support workers that nobody cares about. We need more proper policemen with authority, and we need to start handing out these big sentences. You're caught with a great big hunting knife, you know, on the inner street, on the rough streets of inner city Maidstone. There's no need for that. You should get a big sentence for it. There's simply no need. You know, running around the streets threatening people with knives. If you know, the gun laws in this country, people from other countries, particularly the United States, think that our gun laws are absolutely draconian. And as somebody, I mean, I'm somebody that has never, I haven't grown up with guns or anything, thank the Lord. But the idea of people running around with guns is terrifying. It really genuinely, you just think about it for a minute, that there's people running around armed, you know, and then when it comes to it, our policemen are not armed. You know, our policemen are not armed at all, really. They could have these armed officers patrolling who knows where. But you know, unlike the United States, and probably a lot of other countries, our policemen are not armed with guns, so they're fighting a losing battle to start with. Our police officers are just on the back foot all the time because the government, I don't know, I mean, having the police, we shouldn't need to have our police armed, but for their own protection we should be considering it more. I mean, over the years we've had so many police officers shot and killed, you know, shot at, I'm thinking of one in particular, I can't really remember his name. He was shot and he was blinded and he survived that, but then he ended up committing suicide a little while later, you know, because of the trauma side of things, you know, the post-traumatic stress, I suppose, the life-changing thing that it is. You know, people are running around shooting each other, stabbing each other, killing each other. There's no sort of regard for the law. Everything just seems to be rule of the jungle at the moment. You know, and people from other countries probably think, oh, the UK, that's a pretty safe country. And for the most part it is. But at the moment, you know, I had a conversation with somebody this morning about how we do seem to be descending towards anarchy, where people are just literally running around with no regard for the law. And why should they? Because, you know, the police, and I've said this before, have been the British police all over, not going to talk about individual police forces, the British police have been given a budget of about £3.50 and are told to crack on and get on with it, and it just simply isn't workable. It simply isn't workable to just give our police a minuscule budget and expect them to work miracles. They do a good job, but with more funding and less paperwork. Let's be honest, they need less paperwork. You know, they can't just be tied to a desk all the time. I mean, we could have 1 million new policemen today, you know, with police cars and police motorcycles and things, and you know, but if they're chained up to a desk filling in endless reports and forms and all that sort of thing, there's not really a lot of point. We need the police on the streets policing, you know, not in a desk in the police station, because that's just a waste of time and money, because they've got government targets and they've got forms to fill in and they've got to check people's ethnicity, and it doesn't matter about people's ethnicity. If they're at it, they're at it. It doesn't really make much difference. If somebody's a villain, it doesn't matter where in the world they're from or what colour their skin is. If they're at it, they need to be dealt with, you know. And it's wrong that the government are making them fill out all these ridiculous forms and endless paperwork, and it's just, you know, while the people are running around stabbing each other, the policemen are in their police station at their desks, and that's just totally wrong. They need to be freed up to be out on the streets policing, stopping, you know. If there's more of a police presence, let's be fair, people say, oh well, yeah, you know, you can have all the police you want. Yeah, but people are more likely to think twice if there's more chance of running into a policeman, a police officer. I say policeman, I mean police officer, doesn't matter the gender. If they, you know, if they think they might run into a policeman who can stop them, search them, and then they end up with a big sentence because they get arrested and go through the system and get charged and everything else. If they need a deterrent, that's what they need. They need the threat of a big sentence to just try and bring the threat down of being stabbed or shot. Shot in the UK is absolutely outrageous. We've had mass shootings in the past, and then the gun laws. I think it was after the Dunblane massacre. If you want to Google the Dunblane massacre, feel free, but it's not easy reading. It's a very sad, shameful episode in our history. But then the gun laws really did change. They was really clamped down hard. So, and that was, it's a shame it took that tragedy to do it, but you know, but there it is. So that is my view from the cab, and I'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye bye for now.